Welcome to The Village, a podcast focusing on the students, staff, and community members that make Village Elementary unique. We are your hosts today. I'm Cordelia.
I am Alex.
I am Harper.
And I'm Mrs. Evans.
Today we will be introducing you to habit number 6 of the 7 habits of happy kids.
If you haven't had a chance to listen yet, make sure to go back and listen to our other episodes covering all the other habits at thevillage.usd253.net.
Like Cordelia said today, we'll be focusing on habit 6, which is Synergize.
When I first heard Mrs. Evans say that this habit was Synergize, I was thinking, what in the world does that mean? But once we started learning about it, it made perfect sense.
The definition of Synergize is to combine and work together to be more effective. Really, when it comes down to it, it just means to work together.
Synergy, which is what happens when we practice this habit, is everywhere we look. We have synergy here at school. For example, we have schedules at certain times that we need to do things. Imagine if all the classes in the school showed up to the NPR for lunch at the same time.
Well, that would be a huge mess. There would not be enough room for everyone. The food would not be ready, and there is definitely no way we would be able to eat in time to get out to recess and back to our class on time.
Exactly. That would be the opposite of synergy. It would be chaos and not effective at all. There are also other examples of synergy all around us in our classroom, school, and even in our world. There is synergy when a whole bunch of people are driving at the same time. If people didn't follow driving laws, obey stop signs and stoplights, there would definitely not be synergy and there would be accidents everywhere.
You may be wondering how you can apply synergy to your life, your classroom. This is the part where we can really focus on working together. Rule number 1 is raise your hand for permission to speak.
That helps the synergy of our classroom. If we are all trying to talk at the same time, nobody would hear what is going on. If we listen to our teacher and then take turns responding, then we are synergizing by making our time in the classroom more efficient.
We practice this habit every Wednesday when we go to our Eagle Leader meetings. When we pick up the recycling, there are 18 classrooms plus probably another 5 to 10 places all over the building that also have recycling bins to pick up.
If one person had to do this all alone, it would take them a really long time. But we have 9 people to divide and conquer.
It only takes us about 10 to 15 minutes to sort all the paper and cardboard, bag it up, take it to the recycling bins, and take the cardboard to the recycling dumpster outside.
That right there is synergy.
We combine to work together to be much more efficient.
Today, Alex, Harper, and I have asked a special guest on to speak about habit number 6, Synergize.
This person is no stranger to this habit because she helps keep the synergy at work every day.
We would like to welcome Crystal Skiles, who is the manager at Angels Care Home Health, who also happens to be my mom.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Mom, how long have you worked at Angels Care?
I have been a manager at Angels Care for 2 years now.
What is your favorite thing about being a manager?
I really like working with my team and getting to have a relationship with all my employees.
What does this habit, Synergize, mean to you?
Synergize to me means keeping everybody on the right path so that we achieve our goals that we're working towards with my business, and that we're getting the patients the positive outcomes that they're looking for after being either hospitalized or suffering an illness at home. So, working towards the goal.
How do you use this habit in your work?
So, I manage a staff of RNs, which are registered nurses, and LPNs, which are licensed practical nurses, physical therapist, occupational therapist, all for patients while they're living in their homes. So it's a lot of coordinating care for patients while they're in their home.
What did you want to be when you grew up other than what you are now?
I wanted to be a veterinarian, but it didn't work out.
That's okay.
How do you use this habit in your life?
We use Synergy a lot in our lives because I manage a busy household as well, and we've got to make sure before we get out of the house that all the cows are fed and animals are fed and kids are fed, and everybody has everything they need for school before we leave for the commute to town.
How do you think this habit can make a difference in your life?
Being able to manage a lot of moving parts makes your life easier and can improve, reduce your stress if you're able to manage all those moving parts.
What did you do in your free time when you were younger?
I used to play outside a lot, build forts. We didn't have the internet when I was your age, so I did a lot of reading and playing outside.
Okay, I have a question that everybody wants to know. What's your favorite food?
Tacos. Definitely tacos.
How many hours do you work?
I work a lot of hours because I work even when I'm not at the office. So if I have a nurse that has an issue, they may call me after 5 o'clock. I get calls from patients all hours of the day. But typically I work 40 hours a week.
Why do you think synergy is important?
Synergy is important because it makes our lives easier when we work together.
How does it feel to be a manager?
Sometimes it can be a little stressful, but it's also really rewarding because there are people, I like to have people depend on me. I like to be a helper. I like to fix things for people. So part of my job is fixing things that have gone wrong for my employees.
What do you do during the day?
I put out fires. I answer a lot of questions. I go see patients if somebody needs seen and there's not another nurse available to go check on them. I order a lot of supplies or call doctors and get orders for my nurses.
Do you have any breaks, and if you do, what do you do on them?
If I have breaks at work, I like to just get outside and maybe go for a short walk, or honestly, I like to go wash my car. But I don't take a lot of breaks. I'm not very good at sitting still and not doing things. I probably should work on that.
That would be habit number 7. So you'll have to tune into the next episode after this one to learn about that habit. That's sharpen the saw.
What kind of animals do you have?
We have cows, dogs, sheep, pigs, chickens, cats, and horses.
Have you heard of the 7 Habits of Happy Kids?
I hadn't heard that until I got your information for our podcast today.
I have one more question for you. What kind of papers do you file?
What kind of papers do I file? We actually do a lot of most of our stuff is electronic now, so we don't have a lot of paper documents that we keep on hand, but what I do have...
Any file.
Any files?
Yeah.
Human resources, so like people's vaccines and their stuff to keep them employed, so like their driver's license. That's the kind of stuff that I file.
Okay.
I have a question. So you talked about, having to feed all the animals and then all these things you do at work. And, Synergy makes all of that happen. But I think something that we've talked about in our Eagle Leader meetings is that it can't all just be one person, right? So what kind of team do you surround yourself to make the synergy happen at home and at work?
So at home, luckily my husband does a lot of the heavy lifting, so he'll feed the cows in the morning. In the evenings, though, the kids kind of divide and conquer. Somebody will carry a bucket of food to the cows, somebody does the sheep. Usually there's a battle over who gets to go pick up the eggs, because that's, I think, everybody's favorite part from the chickens. But we divide and conquer for sure, split it out. Everybody's got their own chore to do.
Out of all your animals, which one did you have first?
We had Susan first, which is our black lab. She was our first animal. What are your guys' favorite animals?
I like the chickens that lay blue eggs.
My favorite animal is a puppy.
Cool.
What kind of animals did you show when you were younger?
I showed cattle, horses, and sheep.
What was your favorite?
I think I enjoyed showing the horse the most because you can show them with a halter, but you can also ride them to show. So there's two different things that you can do with one animal.
What animal took the longest to raise?
The cattle, because they've got to be 18 months before you really to have them hit that mark where they're ready to be fit and showed. The sheep don't take nearly as long, nor do the pigs.
What was the horse's name?
That I showed a horse named Sis and a horse named Max. Sis was a bay, so that means she had a red body with like a black mane and tail, and Max was a gray, so she was just kind of off-whitish with some speckles.
So Cordelia has something exciting happening this summer that you could maybe talk to her for some advice about. Tell her what you're going to be doing.
On Wednesdays, if I don't have swimming, I'll do horse riding.
Ooh, that will be fun.
So do you have any tips for Cordelia for her? Because you've never ridden a horse, correct?
Well, in my first 2 lessons,
Oh, you have had 2 lessons.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know you'd started. So how's that going?
it's pretty good. I have a very stubborn horse.
My advice would be is just to always be relaxed and calm, because as soon as you set on that horse's back, they're picking up signals from you. So if you're nervous or frustrated, the horse is going to be more stubborn or more nervous. So if you just take charge and be calm and confident, you'll get good results.
Okay.
I had never really thought about it until this moment when you started discussing it, but I grew up showing horses. That's the first animals that I was around as a kid. And talking about this habit, synergy, and horses, or really any animal actually, but specifically riding a horse, is kind of like the height of synergy between horse and rider. You know, like you said, the emotions that you're carrying are transferred to them. And you know, if you're, like you said, if you're nervous, they're going to get nervous. So like, to accomplish your task, if you think about like trail specifically comes to mind, you know, our listeners probably have no idea what we're talking about, but there's this horse event where you ride your horse and you have to go through obstacles. So it's not trail riding like out in the wilderness. It's, you have to go over a bridge or walk over poles or back through a certain shape or go get something out of a mailbox. And to be able to synergize with your horse so that, you know, you're telling them what you need them to do and they're responding and communicating, it's kind of the height of synergy.
Do you have any like pets other than your farm animals?
We have 6 house cats. And the 2 dogs are pets too, but we have 6 cats in the house.
Alex, do you have any pets?
Gonna get one today.
Today? Well, how exciting. What are you getting?
I'm gonna get a puppy, a golden retriever.
Oh, that's exciting.
Like a puppy, or like an adult puppy?
Like a puppy.
Do you know, is it about 8 weeks old, do you think? Or do you know how old it is?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
Okay.
Golden Retriever puppies are so cute. You should bring a picture for me.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will it be an inside dog or an outside dog?
Inside, and we all like had to work together to see like what type of food and like the cage and stuff.
And then you'll have to potty train him, and all your family's gonna have to work together to make sure he gets let out to go to the bathroom, and everybody knows when to feed him. And so that's an example of synergy right there.
Yeah.
My dog, she is allergic to chicken.
Oh.
And so much dog food has chicken in it and treats. So.
Dogs can be allergic to things.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just like people.
Yeah, like I'm allergic to something in the grass that's seasonal and it gives me hives everywhere.
So you are not in synergy with the grass.
No. Well, some
Some
grass I am. Some.
Well, here, I thought of a question for you girls. What do you girls want to do when you grow up?
Well, I want to be a geologist, like a traveling geologist, and when I'm done with geology, I'm gonna go to college and get my degree for being a science teacher, and so I can teach other kids about like rocks and minerals and rock science.
There's a geology college in Colorado, so a mining college that teaches you about different rocks. So that would be cool.
Yeah, because I love rocks.
I want to get my business degree, and then I want to be a cosmetologist.
Do you guys know what that is?
No, I don't know what that is. What is it?
It's a person who does like hair.
Ooh.
So we can all go see Harper and she'll get us all fixed up and looking fancy.
Yay.
When I'm older, I want to be a migration lawyer.
That's a good goal.
Yeah, what sparked your interest in that?
Just like helping people just get papers and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a really good goal.
I have a question for you, Miss Evans.
Okay.
What did you want to be other than what you are?
What did I want to be? You know, that's a great question. I don't know that I ever really specifically had a set goal when I was younger.
I
would,
used to have that.
yeah, and that's okay. But I think I thought about being a veterinarian, like her for a long time because my mom was a veterinarian and my sister was a veterinarian, and I love animals and I grew up around that. And so I think maybe when I was really little, I thought that was something I wanted to do. So when I was in high school, I thought about being a teacher, but I wasn't sure if that's what I wanted to do. So I went to college and I got a degree in agricultural economics with an option in international ag marketing, and I graduated and was like, actually, this is not what I want to do. And so I went back to school. I moved to Kansas and I went back to school to get my education degree. So I guess I had a lot of different options, and I finally found the right path, and I taught in the classroom for a year, and then I came to work at Village, and I've done a lot of different things, and I think I've found a pretty good niche here.
How do you use Synergy?
How do I use Synergy?
Yeah.
I use Synergy every single day. I think, what I do here at school is a lot of special projects and things like this, like the podcast, and I help plan stream days, and I help teachers if they have a problem with technology. I help them with that. And so it takes let's focus on just the stream days. It takes a lot of people working together to get everything done. So like we have the variety show, so we've got to have people to help make the backdrop. We have to have people do the decorations. We have to have guests come to our school. And we have to get a schedule for them so they know when to show up. And we have 350 kids that we have to figure out how to get through the day all in an organized fashion. And so it takes a lot of synergy and a lot of people working together to get all those things planned.
I have a question for you, Mom. How long did you make it until you decided you didn't want to be a veterinarian?
I think I was in my 4th year of college. I did 2 years of college at Emporia State to get like my pre-veterinary classes out of the way, and then I transferred to K-State. And I found out chemistry was a bit of a struggle for me. So I decided to go with an animal science and industry degree, and then they said, well, you can stay an extra semester and you can get a food science degree too. And I was like, well, okay. So I ended up with those 2 degrees and then worked in the real world for a while and then went back and got a nursing degree.
I have a question for both of you. How long did you guys go to college for?
I went to college for 4 years to get my ag econ degree, and then I went another 2, I believe, to get my elementary education degree.
So
So 6 total, yeah.
So in total, I ended up going to college for about 9.5 years. But I have 3 degrees, so I mean, I was working towards stuff the whole time.
Yeah. Miss Evans, do you have questions for Mrs. Skiles or us?
I always like to end our podcast episodes. I like to ask one big question from our guest, and that is either regarding our habit that we've talked about, synergy, or just life in general. What advice would you give to the people listening, whether it's the kids here at school or parents and families at home? What advice would you give to people?
I think the advice that I would give all of you kids here is to never quit trying and to work hard, because if you keep trying and you work hard at it, it's all going to work out.
Yeah, I always try my best to do what's right.
Good.
What do you guys say to Mrs. Skiles?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. I finally got to meet Harper's mom.
Well, it was nice to meet all of you guys.
You too.